Hey, this is the Mutiny Mom podcast.
Welcome.
Welcome. It's the inaugural. I learned this from my husband. Like, people will say it's like the first annual or the first ever. And he's like, no, it's the inaugural. Which I think that's on an annual basis. We're going to be coming to you once a month with amazing, insightful content around life as moms, life in the field. I would say this is like a little bit of agronomy and a lot of momming.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It'll be a good mix. And just like our life experiences as two women that are covering the whole country and momming at the same time.
You make it sound like we just end up in Nevada on a Tuesday afternoon.
We might.
And sometimes we actually do. So, hey, thank y'all for checking this out on our first Mutiny Mom podcast. So if you don't know about who we are at Mutiny Crop Performance, you should learn about who we are. So you can find all things on our social media, our TikTok, our Instagram. We have a lot of fun. We don't take ourselves seriously, but we take what we do seriously when it comes to improving the bottom line for farmers, improving yield for farmers.
Absolutely.
And I think you'll know why that matters to us. So Camille, for those people that don't know you, they follow us and they're like, who is this woman who operates an office out of her combine every fall and also runs marathons? Oh, and I think she has like these really cool boots that she wears, and a leader of fashion, if you will.
Well,
Tell
something
them
like
about
that.
who you are, get to know who in the heck is Camille Lambert.
Yeah. With the fashion piece, I'm still trying to figure it out. You know, they change jeans every so many years.
We don't have to change jeans, though. You know that, right?
Well, mine all got holes in them, and then I've tried to look for replacements. I'd like just the boot cut to go over the boots that I like to wear in the winter, and you literally can't find them.
You're
and
like,
so
I
end up
need
with
boot
these.
cut not because it's fashionable, because I literally need it.
It works
to go with my boots.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyways, still working on the fashion piece, but it's comfortable and it keeps me warm. So we'll go with that. But I sometimes laugh, Kirby, and I'm like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
You know, I've been out of graduate school for 12 years now, and I've just worked really hard. And
she studied weed in graduate school.
Weed science, which is hilarious.
That was a terrible mom joke.
I know.
Yeah.
But how herbicides work in the plants and in the environment. And I wanted to go in within the disciplines of agronomy. And I tried to go for the most complicated one.
For sure you did.
Weeds are always going to be a problem. So really enjoyed that part of life in graduate school down at Mississippi State. It was, I chose to go down there because usually in agriculture, bad things like weeds, they'll happen first in the South and then they work their way north, you know, resistance issues, stuff like that. So Mississippi State had such a good school, and I was kind of crazy leaving home and going 7 hours away, but it's something that I encourage young kids to do all the time. I didn't have the guts for undergrad. I stayed in the state of Kentucky, but it was fun to go down there. And really my background just always goes back to me asking my dad why. So I guess I'm fourth generation on the farm. My kids will be the fifth. And growing up on the farm in the combine or just walking fields with Dad, I was like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? And he's like, why? So it made sense to go study and find out why, because I couldn't answer any of those questions. And I still maybe know 1% today, but I like to help farmers figure out the why. So that's kind of my background. At Mutiny, I'm all things agronomy. I love to talk about things that we don't sell just to help farmers succeed, whether it's herbicides or fungicides or just working on the planter. It's fun to help farmers kind of figure out, because it's all so complicated.
Yeah.
There's never
and it
just
all goes together. It's not
all
separate. It often gets treated like all the things you talked about as separate pieces, but it's not.
It's
like,
not at all.
Yeah.
And then the farmer mentality, you know, if you're not submerged in it yourself, you sometimes can't relate to the farmer. So being able to actually be on the farm with my family and then help other farms based off of my personal experience, which doesn't always work, but it's really fun to be able to piece those things together. So that's a little bit about me. I've worked in seed, I've worked in chemistry, and now here at Mutiny Crop Performance. So I've got 3 kids, had 3 kids in 3 years, which was close to what you did too, Kirby. It's a little wild at our house.
I'm a survivor. We like have to sing that.
I don't know if I'm thriving, but we're making it.
You're doing it.
The kids are 8, 7, and 5 right now. So they're all in school, which is making it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But my husband, he's on the farm. So my husband doesn't have an 8 to 5. I don't have an 8 to 5.
Sure.
The struggle is real a lot of days. And so it's something that I don't think we talk about enough as women in ag, how to juggle the career and the kids and all the things. It's tough.
So that's what we're here for, to bring some of that into the agronomy message. No, you're killing it. And Camille and I are having such a fun time working together too, because there's nothing like hopping in a vehicle to go to, like last week, we went to Nashville for a team meeting and team training. And it's like, we're both coming in hot on 2 wheels.
Always.
Granola bars.
Sweating.
Falling out the side of the, yes. But we're doing it.
We are.
It's been fun. So,
and you got to tell the backstory too. So Kirby and I were always friendly competitors.
Heck yeah, we were.
So we live in the same town. We're actually within 15 minutes of each other. And when we were in the seed industry, we competed. Then on the chemistry side, we competed. Yes. So when she called me one day and said, "Hey, have lunch with me. Let me tell you about Mutiny."
Please, we're no longer competing. Come have lunch with me.
It's been really fun. So Kirby's somebody I've always looked up to.
Likewise. And I always say that, in my prior life when we were competitors who had mad respect for each other, it'd be like I would leave the farm and they'd be like, "That sounds great, Kirby. We're gonna go call Camille now and fact check it." So she's the best. We have a great time working together and we have fun. That is so important to us at Mutiny, is that
Absolutely.
we have fun. So hey, I'm Kirby Green.
Yeah, we've heard enough about me. I want to hear about you.
My family farms. My dad and my brother farm. I come from a family that farms, and I started out after college. I was a high school ag teacher and FFA advisor. Absolutely loved my time in the classroom. And it's so funny and fun now, Camille, because some of my students, like, even though I was only 4 years older than them,
right?
Now, like, some of them have moved to where we live, and they're married with kids and jobs, and it's a really neat thing, because when you're an FFA advisor, you're so focused on building soft skills in your students' life. So like leadership development and communication, it's just a different kind of relationship as a teacher. So it taught me a ton too. I have been I spent time in the classroom, and then I then shifted into ag sales. And so I started out in seed, and then I also then over time had seed and chemistry. I've had an awesome career. Like I'm so thankful. It's that when you wake up every day and you're like, pinch me, I really get to do this.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what.
And then now to get to work with the people we get to work with, the farmers that we get to farm with. So that's what I'm about. I'm also a mom of 3. I'm a girl mom, so I've got all girls. And it's so fun.
What ages are they?
10 and 9, so 10 almost 11, and 9 and 4.
Yes.
And so every morning, to what Camille was saying, this is what we need to do for each other. We need to go like Oriental Trading and buy those bulk cheap medals that they like give out. And then when we see each other, it's like you get your Olympic gold medal.
You survived the morning.
Yes. By the time it's 8, I'm like, where is my gold medal? Because it's like there's a sprint, and then there's what do they call it? The javelin toss.
Yes.
And it feels like there's so many, and then they're like, and now it's time to go ice skate. And then you gotta, like, it feels like I've got all of these Olympic sports that I do in the morning.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. And then you add in like the kids' activities after work and on the weekends. And I mean, man.
I need like some theme music. Actually, I should get you on that. Camille is the queen of like the Spotify playlist. So hey, we're excited. You'll get to know us, but we know there's also a part 2 for a lot of farmers that are out there. They're probably like, hey, I'd really like for y'all to talk about agronomy in my farm, and we will. We will. But if this is this would be the podcast for you. If you like to talk about not only how we go about the uptake of phosphorus in the crop, along with the uptake of collagen in our faces, this would be the podcast for you. A podcast that, we're talking about making plans for 2026, and also, hey, here's a little bit about my meal plan for the week ahead. This will be the podcast for you. That's what we have to offer you.
Yeah.
So,
No, we just want to, it's fun, right? I just want to entertain people, but also be able to help people. So keep it light, keep it fun. This is something I've never done before. So
oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So for those of y'all that already follow along with us on social media, you know, I give Camille such a hard time.
Right.
Because so right now we're in confessional mode. All right. Welcome to the confessional. That'll be the Mutiny Mom podcast. Welcome to the confessional.
I just struggle, Kirby.
So we all struggle. Camille, we all have our struggles in life. And you have less than most people, but you do have one. And it's that this woman does not drink water. She doesn't. We will spend days together. We'll get in the vehicle. Like I said, you know, 2 wheels, we're coming in hot. We get in the vehicle and I've got like my protein shake and I've got my water and then I've got a backup water. And then I refill said water bottle 3 or 4 times throughout the day. And then I'm like, we're driving down the road. I'm like, Camille, we're going to have to stop and take a potty break. And I'll be like, are you coming in? She's like, I'm good. I'm like, okay. Then we get to our like first meeting and I'll be like, I'm going to the restroom for the meeting. I'm like, do you need to, you know, because moms typically are like, do you need to go potty?
Right.
But she's like, I'm good. And then I realized over time, it's not that this woman has a bladder made of steel. It's that she doesn't drink water.
I'm laughing because it's just true. It's not that I don't like water either.
And you might have a phenomenal bladder, Camille.
I love the taste of water. I
love the taste of water.
My mind is just going so much all day that I honestly don't think about drinking water. Like I have to
That's what I'm here for.
I drink my espresso in the morning. So I actually...
You have fancy coffee cups, don't you? You always have your like...
Yeah.
It looks like your...
Because it tastes better when it's in a fancy cup.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
psychological.
Just psychological. So about 4 years ago, I was going to Starbucks every morning because I'm on the road all the time.
Yeah.
Like in my previous role, I was spending 50, 60 nights a year in hotels as a mom. I mean, it was crazy. So the caffeine intake was necessary. And I was realizing how much money I was spending every single day. And then my husband, don't get me on him, like so I was going to Starbucks, he was going to Dunkin' every day. And I was looking through like our bank account and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really adding up. So I started doing math, me being the nerdy self that I am, and I was like, okay, I'm going to look into one of these fancy espresso machines because I've got to have my espresso. You got one,
didn't you?
I did. So I it's Brewville or Breville, however you say that.
We're from Kentucky.
It grinds the beans.
Yeah.
It pours the shot. And it froths the milk.
Man.
I make it every morning. It costs me less than $1. So I calculated this with both me and Blake going every single day buying these coffees. It was only going to take me 4 months to pay for this machine. And I've had it for 4 years.
Yeah.
So I buy these cups. They're on auto ship on Amazon. And
of course
I just make it at home. Everybody thinks I go somewhere fancy, but I'm making it at home. And I like the taste better. It's really good. But... after I switch off of my coffee in the morning, I'm too busy. I just don't think about it. And then I blink and I'm like, it's 5 p.m. and I'm just now starting my water that I packed.
Yeah. If you all follow, Camille did a really good job this harvest. So she did like a harvest video every day on her farm. And I was the daily troll in her comments. I was like, drink your daggum water. So,
and it seems like it's a joke, but it's really not a joke.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
It's a thing. And it's like, we are both the Mutiny Moms, but I'm going to mom hard for you to get some H2O in your mitochondria. And that's probably not even a thing. It's like the mitochondria is the power.
When you hydrate, I mean, you sleep better.
Yep.
Your hair probably looks better. Your nails grow better. Your skin looks better.
I don't know. I mean, I drink a lot of water and I'm struggling in those areas. But it makes, yes, you're right. You do feel better. This is our thing of that we're always, which she's probably like, okay, I need to increase my water intake. But Kirby, we are not stopping 8 times on the road for you to have potty breaks. So it's a balance.
And it seems crazy to say it out loud, but I work with 99.999% men all the time. Like I'm in fields all day long as an agronomist. And I've kind of mentally maybe trained myself over the years.
This is a real thing.
Like, the worst thing you can do, especially as a young female, I'm not so young anymore, but like when I was just starting my career, like having to say in front of all these grown men, like, hey, I need to go over here. Just give me a second. Like,
well, especially if the corn's not up in the field yet, because you're not around bathrooms regularly.
Right.
So you're like, we can go walk fields, but it needs to be mature cornfield. at least 50 acres to work with here. Also, are the in-rows still like?
I mean, it's a thing for real.
Yeah.
But I've also like, I'm usually in such deep conversation and I'm trying to like
sure.
get through to people that I'm like, okay, I'll just hold it. Like we'll go later. And over time I've just quit drinking water. It's a thing.
So here's the point is that if you're not drinking your water and we have conversation, I will harp on you till you're tired and I will wear you down. Right? That's what's happened to Camille as she drinks her espresso. So it's like all mom things. You get humbled really quickly. You're like, I'm imparting wisdom. And Camille's like, no, you're not. I'm drinking my caffeine. But we do have something that we're going to talk about that I think is relative to your farm. So one thing that Camille and I know to be true, as much as it's important for her to be consuming her water, so as you think about plant and plant health and all of that coming together, we always think about, like, we talk a lot about health and in our truck rides and our car rides.
It relates so much to agriculture though,
Yep.
Kirby, doesn't it?
Yep.
So I've always been the person like the why, why. But I have to make it simple enough that my dad, my brother, my husband who now works on the farm,
Me.
I want people to be able to relate, right? Because I feel like sometimes as agronomists, like it's almost like a chest puffing competition.
Oh, for sure. How many big words can I use?
And it over
Yeah.
the years, it drives me crazy. Like I'll listen to stuff online and I sometimes feel intimidated, which I don't even know a sliver of information. I'm still learning every single day. I've nowhere near arrived, but like I think to myself, if I feel intimidated listening to some of this content, like my dad sure is never going to understand it. You know, Kirby may understand it.
Because she'll use chat and be like, what does this word mean? Yeah.
Right. But like, how can we relate to the farmer where they can take the message and use it? And I feel like, honestly, I'm not smarter than anybody else out here, but being relatable and making it where farmers can take it and consume the information and make a change, that's gotten me to kind of where I am today. So when I relate to the soil and the plants, a lot of times I relate to the human body. And I'm not a doctor of humans, but like a lot of things that we do in our bodies relate so much to the soil and fertility and plant and uptake of nutrition. It's crazy.
For sure. So the reason that I harp on Camille to drink your water, we talked about all the benefits, but one thing that just go with us, because these are the conversations we have, is it's like, Camille, if you were consuming that much coffee and then there's no water, I'm like, we've talked about what is the pH of all of these things. So like, hear us out. I promise this has to do with agronomy. And so just today I told her, I was like, listen, we're going to test it out. I brought my little pH water tester, and hashtag you may be a woman in ag if you're like, grab this out of the backpack.
Where'd you get that? First of all, where can people get those?
Well, I got it off Amazon for $9.89.
Okay.
And
you spent your Sunday afternoon calibrating it?
For sure I did. Yes. So this is the really, do you know what I'm talking about? Like when there's like a topic you get really excited about.
Yeah.
And then you're like talking to the person and you could tell they're being real nice, but they're like,
I can't wait for this conversation
Yeah,
to end.
yeah. So this is going to be that on pH water tester. So you can get this off Amazon for $10, and then it comes with a calibration kit, so you can get it calibrated. And the more times you calibrate it, the more accurate it's going to be.
Right.
I did one calibration because like I didn't need it to be within tenths and hundredths as much for like day to day.
Absolutely.
But the reason that we care about pH, we're going to test the pH of Camille's water, because I'm going to make it a point of like when you. I said water.
Hey, I do have water.
Oh,
I have both.
Can we we need to have some editing where it's like the hallelujah moment, you know,
Yes.
like
Hallelujah.
where whenever she says, I've got my water. So there we go. I would like to test your coffee.
Okay.
And
Let's
your
test
water.
both. So let's do coffee first. And, then
And
you can
while I'm
rinse it
testing,
off and
Camille,
test
why in
the
the heck would I'm like nerding out on my pH tester, and I know that you've got one too. Why do we even carry about pH? We're carrying pH testers.
Okay, so there's some university research, actually 2 different universities, so NC State and Purdue. While Kirby's messing with this, I'll nerd out on you for a little bit. They have, over the years, compiled a big list.
Actually, I want to do your water first.
Okay.
Because I don't want to put coffee in your water when I switch
fine.
over.
Whatever.
That's fine. No, it's not. You don't want coffee flavored water.
Well, you actually, I mean, half of it is water.
Well, yes. Okay, see, she's getting all technical on me. Okay. All right, I'll test your water.
That hydro drug, by the way, is awesome. You close the lid. I can throw it in the bottom of my bag, let it roll around in the tractor. You see dents in it.
Will the ice affect anything
shouldn't.
in here?
It
like,
shouldn't.
I'm just the accuracy. Okay. All right.
Okay, so certain things that we do in agriculture and in our bodies are highly affected by pH. So you could talk about vitamins or supplements if you're talking about your body, but in row crop farming or any type of farming, you talk about certain chemistry, okay? We've got fungicides, herbicides, insecticides. Not all of them, but some of them, and even getting into nutritionals and biologicals, they're highly affected by these environments that we're putting them into. So like a product we talk about in corn and soybeans a lot lately has been potassium acetate. There are so many good benefits to that product, but it has a pH of upwards of 10, okay? And so we know that most fungicides, herbicides, they really like that 5 to 6 range. And
That's
so
right. Did y'all know that? I did not know this. This is why I spent time with Camille.
I love it. So
This and other reasons, but go ahead.
do you have a reading on my water yet?
Here,
So this is just,
here you go.
This is city water from the town that we live in. And
Oh, as soon as you take it out, I think can you set your lid down? Because that way you can hold it in there.
yeah. What am I doing?
You got to hold the...
Oh, you
I
want
don't-
me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a grand reveal. I'm like,
Okay.
I want to create some pomp and circumstance when the...
All right. What do you think it is? Okay, let's start here. So 7 is pretty neutral. As you get up, things break down really, really fast.
Okay.
So I told you we want to be in that 5 to 6 range for a lot of stuff that we do in agriculture. So this is just water out of the tap at my house.
Okay. 8.
Higher.
Oh gosh, I feel like Price is Right. Except if you're 9.
9.77. I actually am a little surprised by that.
Okay.
So we at the farm are not using city water. We're using out there. Yeah. So it's going to be different. And really, it's really important when you're mixing things. And this could...
Don't worry, I won't get this on your chairs. Wonder Boy Studio. Yeah.
Again, though, like taking supplements or things that you're doing, once you start concocting, it's science, it's chemistry. So when you start putting things like potassium acetate that has a pH of higher than 10, some fungicides will be, in the 6.5 to 7.5 range. It just depends on what it is. But you start mixing all these things together, and then your final solution might be very high. And so what these universities, NC State and Purdue, have found that certain chemistries break down really quickly. So I'll use a fungicide, for example. There are some fungicides that in high pH environments of 9 plus, half-life is 2 minutes. So you think about this, like we're running this big equipment. It takes 15 minutes to even fill your sprayer up.
So you've already gotten to half-life.
You may have. And so I started over the last couple of years starting to ask some of these farmers I'm working with, they'll say, hey, Camille, that fungicide, it didn't work for me. I just don't see these products, they're not working. And if you're not asking yourself, what was the final pH?
Right. And let's be honest, I mean, I just got my pH tester in full transparency. I haven't thought about that in my day to day.
Because it's not talked about.
It's not.
It's not.
So right now your coffee is 6.4, somewhere around there.
Okay. But we know, so if you just chug 3 shots of espresso on an
6.3.
empty stomach, what's it doing to your gut?
Yeah. Amen, sister.
Amen.
Riddle me that, Camille Lambert.
So it's not always just about the pH. That's why I'm going there. When we introduce things like...
Hold on, I got to get
like coffee to our gut, it can hurt. We know that. Doctors have studied that. There's a lot of naturopath doctors. I know that you have been really diving into this over the last year too, but it can have a profound impact on your body. And so when we think about some of these high salt fertilizers, high pH environments, it is shocking the biology in the soil, just like it's doing when we take 3 espresso shots and dump it on an empty stomach. So we haven't always in agriculture, I know in bodies, we've done a whole lot better job of thinking about the full process, but we don't always do that in agriculture. And I don't know, I don't know why, really.
No, and it's like all things. I mean, when you know better, what you do better. So I think there's so many areas of agronomy. And one thing that I love, so our coworker Patrick always says, we want to be the company that's not about trying to be right. We want to be the ones that are getting it right, because it's not that everything that existed before in agriculture and agronomy was like wrong. It was just like that was the best information at the time that existed, and that's what people acted on. And so the reason for the name, the company, and what we do is just that underlying mission of like, we want to go against the grain of things that have always been done a certain way, just because, like, we want to be have people like Camille that ask the why and think and be the kind of people that say, I think about this differently now, or we know more, we know better, we do differently. And I hope to goodness, Camille, in like 10 to 20 years, things that we say on this podcast now, we look back and we're like, oh, no, we do better. And I've heard like authors say this about that if they've written a book and then they go back and they edit it, and people will be like, oh man, like that probably feels really bad. And they're like, actually, no, that's a good sign if I've tweaked and evolved. And the reality is there's some things that are truly black and white, but there's a lot of things where maybe it's a new technology, a new concept that we learn, a new thing like, oh, you know what? I actually haven't been testing the pH of the water that I use, or the pH of my overall solution. And why does that matter?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you asked me 5 years ago what my recommendation on any topic was, it's greatly different from my recommendations today, because we're always changing, like you said. And so that's the hard part. Sometimes we like that comfortable.
For sure.
And farmers like it too, because they're logistics, right? Making a big change on a farm is hard. It's so hard. And so once a farmer kind of figures out, okay, this is what I do for my fertility, and this is what I do for my chemistry, and this is how I do it with this equipment, like it is really hard to make those changes.
Yeah.
So, but we've got to keep evolving. They say, Kirby, I'm sure you've heard this, the average farmer gets to make decisions for 30 crops.
Right.
So you blink your eye. I mean, heck, you and I have worked at Mutiny for over a year. It's already been a whole crop, and we're going into the next one. And
for sure,
what changes have we made to better ourselves and better our farmers for that, 30th crop?
And the reality is it's uncomfortable, because what Camille said, there's something, and it doesn't mean like, there's something to be said about pace and change in things that we implement. But I think back to, you talked about moving out of state for your grad program. My husband and I moved out of state whenever we took their first, jobs. And it was hard, and it was so good. Like, I remember there for a year, even beyond a year, because we lived on the northeast side of Indianapolis. It was like, I had to use my GPS every single day, everywhere I went, because I didn't know where I was going.
Sure.
And then you start to realize, okay, like there's a comfort about, I know how to get to these places,
to the grocery store,
to the whatever. I need to go get my phone fixed. Now I know where the AT&T store is, and I don't have to use a GPS. So there is a comfort about that, but I've learned in my life, like, I have to not settle into complacency. It's like a good cup of coffee. I've heard this metaphor. It is balance of both the like bitterness of the coffee with the balance of if you're a cream and sugar. Some people are like all black coffee.
You see my cream and sugar.
Yeah. It's like, that's the perfect cup of coffee. If we're, even those of us that drink black coffee, if we're honest, we were like, I really would like a little cream and sugar in there. Yeah. It's a perfect coffee. But it's equal parts both, because you do need to have like be stretching things that you do and getting outside of your comfort zone and not grow complacent, with the balance of, there is some value of tried and true dependability, like the comfort zone of things.
Yes.
I mean, and you know that as a farmer too, where it's like, I'm so thankful you're with us at Mutiny, because you'll bring up, you're like, this is great, but this would mean a major evolution of equipment.
Right. Or
this is great, but I would have to hire someone. Like, there's always the fact checking of, this is progress to be made, but not right now.
What I'm really high in discernment, so I'm always discerning everything. That's right. Sometimes to a fault.
We'll talk about working geniuses sometime on the podcast.
Yeah,
we need to table that topic.
But here's the thing: like in farming, you change too much at one time. Like, the dollars are big,
for sure,
big. So one wrong move, your kids might not get to farm. Like, it's that serious.
Sure.
And so that's why sometimes, like, these ideas and these things are great. and it might be a great solution, but you have to go slow at your pace because you're always thinking in the back of your mind, like, I'm already thinking about my grandchildren farming,
Yeah.
you know, and they might be astronauts. I might not have a grandchildren. I don't know, but.
So I always want to, because if I ever, Camille knows me, she'll like do the agronomy deep dive, and I'm always like okay, and what's the takeaway? What's the next step? What's the practical application? So in light of, thank you for letting me pick on you. Now we know pH. And by the way, this thing, I calibrated it once. I just got this in. It may be off. So don't y'all come at us in the comments and be like, there's no way the pH is that.
But at least gives you a range to be in.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't manage what you don't measure. Right? So let's start measuring. So so talk about, we're not like, at Mutiny, we always say we want to talk about the why before the what, meaning like we never want to sit down and say, Mutiny liquid litter is the greatest thing since sliced bread. If we can't answer the why, like that, the what doesn't matter of the product. You know, like every product that exists should solve a problem. That's the value that it brings. So in light of what you said about pH and understanding that and the efficiency and effectiveness, what's the Mutiny approach when it comes to the whole pH conversation? Like, what's your guidance there? What does Mutiny have to offer to a farmer?
Sure. So we actually launched it last week, and it's this is kind of my brainchild a little bit. It's a product I've talked about for about 5 years.
Pause. You know how I talked about whenever you nerd out on something and this is Camille's moment. So cue the dramatic music. I need you to lock in with the camera and be like, you know, this is your moment, Camille.
Yeah. Well, something
this is
like
your
that.
baby.
Something like that. Well,
something like that.
So it goes back to my time when I worked at Beck's Hybrids. So I was an agronomist, and one thing that they do is they research a lot of products. They call it practical farm research. And I had my hands, I was in it. So at the Kentucky location, I was helping put the trials out. I was helping to rate the trials. I was giving the private tours. And something that literally hit me like a brick to the face was the water conditioning trial.
Sure.
And there were multiple products in it. But what I liked, again, my farmer hat's just glued on, Kirby. I can't take it off. But the ease of this product. So it's a product where, so we had the starting water. Mine was 9.77. We tested it.
Does that sound accurate?
Even if it's a little high, even if it's an 8, that's still high, right? So we want to get to that 5-6 range for most products to hold their half-life. So we started looking at all these different products, and a lot of them, it's ounces per 100 gallons. That's how a lot of these water conditioning products will work. And this one product, I loved it. You dump the product in until the water turns hot pink, and your pH is at a 4.5 to a 5. So I was like, man,
I don't know why I had to shimmy.
I know.
When she said
well, we've got pink in the background.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Pinkish, purplish.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's fun. But as a farmer, we need easy, right? We're accountants, we're chemists, we're mechanics, we're all these different things. And there's so many moving targets. And a lot of times you have hired people that are helping you, and you're trying to just get the job done and get on to the next thing. And so this product, you figure out what your starting pH is of your water at your farm where you load your sprayer. And once you know, you just dump in when the water's pink, you're good. So
whenever it's pink, it's like, this is the pH that you should be at. You don't have to second guess it.
You don't have to second guess it. You don't have to get that tester out because it has a chemical reaction and it quickly turns that water to a hot pink color.
Yep.
So it's either going to be like a clear, yellow, or hot pink. There's no in between.
Yeah.
So
that's good to know.
It was really
Visually,
easy.
You can see it.
Right. So then you start adding in products. And this is where you have to kind of second guess yourself a little bit if you're adding things like potassium acetate, again, super high pH. So at the finality of mixing all your products.
Go with it. I like it.
I like it too.
Make up any word.
Okay, I'll make them up.
It's the finality, finesse of celebration.
Okay, so we're doing let's talk about fungicides right now. So we're mixing our fungicide. Pick your poison. We're gonna do a potassium acetate. We're gonna do in my area, my most limiting factor has been manganese. So I'm going to put some manganese in, maybe some boron. We know that's really good for pollination timing. I might even put some moly in there. So all these things go in the tank. All of them have pHs, okay? It's chemistry. And everything has to have a place to bind too. It's all reacting in the tank. So at the end, when you find your mix, which most farmers are going to have the same mix across their fungicide acres, we want to test that pH again. And the cool part about this product, as you're adding in all these things, making your concoction, if that pH goes up again, the water won't be pink anymore.
So you know I need to add more of. And what is the name at Mutiny?
Drum roll, we need
Drum
one.
roll.
We are going to call this product Mutiny Modify with a PH because we're modifying the water.
Yeah.
We try to, some of the names that we come up with are comical.
For sure. And we're from Kentucky and we know how to spell, and we are going to put the lowercase p with the uppercase H.
Correct. We are.
Are you impressed?
But here's the thing, like at Mutiny, we're always trying to address how can we help a farmer?
Sure.
And the part that really ended up bringing me here was we're not married to any company. We want to work with companies that we want to find the best boron or the best water conditioning product, the one that makes the most sense for the farmer.
Sure.
And when we can pair up with a lot of different companies and find different products in the marketplace and have them under one umbrella and be able to take all these different things to the farmer, it's a good day.
Yeah. And you're solving, to go back to the why before the what, then you're solving the problem first and not just simply bringing a product, right?
Correct. But all across the country, everybody's water is different.
For sure.
But I've yet to see a final concoction. You start dumping these products in again. I've yet to see anywhere where you don't need to condition your water.
Yeah.
And this is one of the most under talked about things. Heck, I just came from working from a hard chemistry company. No one talks about this. And I think a lot of times it's because it's intimidating and we don't have all the answers. We don't. Right. But when we can start to ask the why, and why did my fungicide not work? Well, my pH was at the final solution. I had potassium acetate in there. It was like a 10.8.
Yeah. Yeah. And Mutiny, what I love about Mutiny Modify is the simplicity of that. I don't have to overthink the situation because of the color. And when it's hot pink, we're ready to go. And then if the color starts to fade, then I know that I need additional Mutiny Modify to be able to get the pH at a neutral level. It's simple. I don't have to become a mad scientist you can have your pH tester, but it's going to do the work for you.
Well, and there are other products out there. So you could use a citric acid, different companies across the country. They have products too. Okay. But the color thing was for me the number one. And then the price, Kirby. Yeah. Some of these products can be pretty expensive, $2-3 an acre. And you're farming sometimes thousands of acres. That can be a big spend. So when we can get this job done, we know the color's right. We know the water pH is where it needs to be, and it's economical. I'm in.
That's a win.
I'm in.
So, hey, if you want to talk more about this, reach out we have dealers all across the country. We have folks that are ready to help you and to talk through this for your farm. It is one of the easier, economical changes that just simply make sense for 2026. Like if there was, if you're prioritizing your list of things that you want to do differently, better, to me, this is the one. This is the one to just think through it like it's a no-brainer. So, hey, we would love, as nerdy as can be, I'm going to make sure I'll run this through the calibration yet again. But we would love, this is the nerdy thing, like we would love to come test the pH of your water, but you can do it yourself. But we have a solution for that on the farm. But Camille, I love talking all things agronomy with Camille. Before we wrap up today, this is going to be so fun, and we'll talk about working like we've already got our topics. I'm like, we have a shared note. This is how we operate. We have a shared note on our phone for the range of topics, and it truly is the culture of the Mutiny Mom podcast, because it'll be like, let's talk through the intern program and and it's like, also, high protein breakfast options. Yeah. What are we doing when we only have 2 minutes to get out the door? Like, you should see the range of the topics.
Or laundry. We've talked a lot about that the last couple of weeks.
What laundry detergent have you found that Yeah, this is just buckle up.
Don't get me down that rabbit hole.
Buckle up, buttercups. Like, that's the most mom thing to say. We'll bring it all. And if you're listening and you're like, okay, I don't necessarily need the new potato soup crock pot recipe, which you actually do, so hear us out.
Or your spouse or your mom, they might want it.
Yeah, and it goes in the crock pot, so there's like usually not a lot of work. So you're welcome, ladies and gents. But we'll bring all of that to you. I love that we're going to talk about We Can Do Working Genius. But before we wrap up today, I'd love to hear from you, whether it's agronomy, whether it's mom life, whatever it's farm life, like have your Mutiny Mom moment. What's been a game changer for you? What insight do you have to offer? What tip, what words of advice before we wrap up today?
So we mentioned laundry. It's just right on the top of my tongue.
You're going
here.
there, aren't you?
I'm gonna just
Yeah.
I'll just barely skim. So
Okay.
this has been something that I started less than a year ago, really. I was trying to get my house sometimes can just be chaos. Like there's stuff everywhere, like nothing's getting done. So the kids we use green light, which you told me about, but they have their chores that they do, which I think is really fun. They can check it off. But every morning I've started a load of laundry, and it sounds so silly. And so, but when you have 3 kids, your husband's a farmer,
Your kids
you're
do
in the
sports.
like,
Yeah,
there's a
all the
lot of
uniforms.
laundry.
Yeah.
So what has been saving me lately? And you have to stay on it. It's not as easy as you think, but every morning, so I get up nice and early and I go walk my dog. Like we don't miss ever.
The puppy power hour.
Even if it's snowing, we're not missing.
Yep.
I will miss if it's like 30 degrees and raining, but
No, she doesn't.
anyways, I
She's
put a
a
load of
baller.
laundry in, and then when I get home at the end of the day, I always have to fire the dryer up and fluff. Like I can't be folding frosty laundry.
Frosty laundry? I've never heard that before.
But I fluff it up and then I just switch it over. And so every morning I'm starting a load and then I'm turning it over when I get home. So it saves me. And the days that I do miss, like let's say I'm out of town and the husband's trying to take care of the house, like it's ratchet trying to get back on track.
Yeah. I love it.
I want to hear yours now.
Well, so I was
away.
okay, you know what?
We don't have to go there.
In
but
the spirit of laundry, and I need you to lock eyes with me in this moment, the best investment that you can make in laundry is a Speed Queen washing machine.
I second that.
And I'm going to talk in a very low voice.
I have one too.
Because they say when you do that, people pay attention. And I need you to listen. I feel like I should be, in the social media world, people are affiliates or whatever. I'm like, Speed Queen, hire me. I've had so many people that tag.
I've sold several.
And Tyler is like, we cannot go to another wedding, or we don't go to like a lot of galas, or so, that sounds so like fancy schmancy, but like occasionally any kind of event, or even just like a Friendsgiving.
You're bringing up the
He's
Speed
like,
Queen.
you cannot talk about Speed Queens this time. And I'm like, oh yes, I can. Because if I care about the lives of people around me,
It's a game changer.
I'll be an evangelist for Speed Queen. Y'all, it's the 1980s technology. It's got the agitator. This is the way. This is the way. And
it gets the laundry clean.
it does. And then
It doesn't get moldy like those
there's
front
like
load.
few buttons on there. Like I'm like, what shifted in the world of laundry that I needed to have 55 options?
Do you have the knobs or the digital one?
I got the knobs.
I have the knobs too.
Because I also have the dryer. Because
We've
of
never
course I
even
do.
talked about this before, but we're on the same page.
Let's go. I'm all like, I'm sure my ring is reading. It's like, you are excited. Your blood pressure is up or down, or I don't know. Anyways, but
How many years have you had yours?
I think I got it. Well, I made the switch 5 years ago.
Okay, that's about when I got mine.
Maybe
we didn't
4
even
years
really know
ago.
each other.
But I'm supposed to get like 15 years out of it. And I can see why, because like the knob on my dryer was getting stuck. And so I called and they're like, yeah, come get a new knob. $10 later, I pull the old knob off. I pop the new one on. What a novel concept. They
It's
weren't like,
amazing.
you're going to need a new chip, And I'm like, the only chip I want to be taking out of my washing machine is the chips from my kids' pockets. Not like, this is not I don't need 55 options for hot, cold, da-da-da-da. I just need and it's like heavy load, normal, and like delicate.
I keep mine on heavy duty.
Yes, we do.
Because, our kids both have to wear white collared shirts to
That
school.
should be the theme
which you
of
have girls. I have boys.
Yeah.
Like, my 5-year-old kindergartner, he has to wear this white collared shirt to school. He comes home, like, chocolate milk stains.
For sure.
This big, Kirby.
And he's proud of it too, probably like, this
I'm
is
like,
the
are
sign
you
of a good
trying?
day.
Are you trying to do this, buddy? Like, what are you doing? But it gets the clothes clean.
It does.
I used to have this front load Samsung, and it's pretty and all, but
I know, and it makes a jingle.
I was having to wash my husband's work clothes and the kids like 3-4 times. I'm not putting something in the dryer till the stain's out, and
Because you don't want frosty laundry. Never heard that before. So that's gonna be my
Okay.
That's my moment, and I need to figure out on the Mutiny Mom podcast how we become an affiliate for Speed Queen, because we could pay for like gallons of milk with our affiliate program. Like we could get so much laundry detergent from selling Speed Queens on the side.
I buy 3 gallons of milk a week.
I know, that's why I was
For my
like
boys.
gallons, because
oh my gosh.
yeah.
So no, it's crazy, but this is something we can come full circle a little bit too. So we talk about,
are you going to relate this to pH?
Maybe.
Oh gosh.
Well, okay, we talked about like the soil and how it relates to the body a little bit. And this is something when I had my first baby, so he's almost 9, I started diving into like how chemicals can affect us. So laundry detergent, that's you wear your clothes all day long. You dry off with the towels, you sleep in the sheets. And if you go to, so there's a website, Environmental Working Group, they have a database and they have every single ingredient broken out with the risks of cancer and hormone disruption and all these things. Again, I always got to nerd out, Kirby.
Of course you do.
Laundry detergent is one of the worst. So like some of these fancy baby detergents are rated the worst, and it's crazy.
Because of the ingredients
It's
in the
crazy.
detergent. Yeah.
So that's one thing that I did 10 years
What
ago.
kind of
9 years
detergent
ago.
do you use?
So we're on this brand now. It's called Zum, Z-U-M.
Okay. Sounds like Zen,
Natural,
but I'm assuming
not even
it's
close.
not
So
brought to you
Indigo
by Zen.
Wild, I think, is the parent company.
Okay.
I've used some others. Molly Suds is a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a powder. They have a liquid too, but this is important. It's really important.
We use Sheets. It's like that's a brand. They're like the Sheets.
I haven't heard of that one.
I found them at Meijer.
Oh, they're like laundry detergent sheets.
Yeah, but they look like dryer sheets. But you just put them in there.
Okay.
And they're supposed to be like made with great ingredients. So there you go.
Yep.
Hey,
it's got to get the clothes clean, and it can't give me hormone imbalances.
Come for the agronomy, stay for the laundry. That is today's episode, y'all. We're excited. This is gonna be fun. Just so you know too, we will be featuring the men of Mutiny on the Mutiny Mom podcast.
That's gonna be like, some days, Kirby, I know you think this too. Like, I'm like, I really work with these people.
And they think that about us.
I know they have
like,
to.
we're like, we're gonna do a Mutiny Mom podcast, and we're not sure what we'll talk about, but it's probably gonna be laundry. And they're like, oh,
whatever. Patrick is here for it.
Yeah, Patrick will be joining us for the next episode. We're so excited.
But the other two, they're not.
We're gonna have all the guys on. It's gonna be fun. So, hey, give us a little grace, because we're just 2 moms, and we're doing the dang thing, and we're off to a full day of farm visits and stuff. So, hey, our team's here to help y'all, support y'all. Thank you for checking out this first episode. We'll see you next time.